Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. Tuning in, spending some time with me. In today's video, I'm going to concentrate on my May monthly budget forecast, and I have some new printables to share with you, and I hope that you enjoyed the most recent downloads from yesterday's video. And I think that, well, actually these are going to be in my Etsy by the time this uploads. So if you're interested in these kits are 12 pages each and they are $3.75 to download. I also wanted to give you guys just a little bit of a hint while I'm lowering my camera so we can concentrate on numbers. There's a website called, I think it's called Fillable PDF or PDF Fillable, something like that. But anyways, if you just drag and drop your document, like if you were to have a document like this, even a 12-page document, if you were to drag and drop it into their little file upload bar, you can just upload this to your computer and you can type on it. So it creates a fillable document for you. This particular one that I found was free. If you guys are interested, just let me know. I'll have to make sure I link it in my next video. But if you just search Google for free fillable PDF converter or conversion, something like that, you can upload basically any PDF that you have and then it will convert it so you can type directly into it. So if, say you would like to use something like this, but you don't have a printer at home, or maybe you just don't want to use the ink to print it all out, you can do something like that. So these are my newest designs. They're a little bit more glam than the other ones that I've done. Well, I think every budget kit that I've done so far is just a little bit different. So I'm trying not to replicate too many of the same designs except month to month. So I like to do like a whole collection, like a whole year's worth of one design, a whole year's worth of another design. But so far, I've only done these for the month of May. So I will do, I don't want to set them on fire. I'll do a little flip through. You can obviously see the different covers here. Lots of pearls going on, maybe a little bit designer or Chanel inspired, but just, like I said, a little bit more glam. But these also have decorated interior pages. So lots of pearls decorating the corners and the top headers. And so I thought that was cute to add. And then in here, I left these very plain. So I didn't want these to be too fussy because this is where you guys really need to get into doing your workbook activity. And I didn't want it to be super distracting. So I left these as is. I just muted down the colors to match the new covers. So that's what those pages look like. And then I got a little bit more decorative when it came to the sinking funds, the monthly goals, and this is a different sheet, and then the notes page. So basically that's just a replica of the same thing for this one. You know, it has the same kind of interior. So anyway, I think I'm going to use the lighter one. I really like this one. In fact, I might just put this one here, not that you can see it, but this is another printable that I recently created. This is a Schedule Like a Boss. And if you guys were familiar with my series, I am going to get back to that. But this is something that you can also scale down. Any of my printables, if you scale the printing size down to 84%, they will print out double-sided for the Happy Planner Classic size. So if you're not into the whole 8.5 by 11 letter size, Happy Planner Big, you can scale it down. But this is a whole day's worth of scheduling. And this is also on my Etsy. So let's get into the numbers. And we're going to do a little forecasting, but just basically more of a little bit of a setup for the month of May. So I'm really hoping that this month proves to be, did my lighting change? I don't know. I apologize if the lighting is kind of crappy. I hope that this month proves to be as good for my husband with his commissions as last month. Last month was probably his best month since he's been at his new job, which has been just over a year now. So I am really hoping that he tops last month because with us using basically the complete heart of our budget to pay off the swimming pool, which is just an above ground, your basic swimming pool that we purchased, we just kind of took our money down to next to nothing again, which is fine. I'm just grateful to pay it off. So I have to plug in a couple of days also. This is my payday. And then my payday. I get paid every other week. So in case you guys are new here, I get paid every other week. I am hourly. My husband gets paid 3 times a month. He gets a commission pay, which is usually around the Saturday of every month, but I'm assuming it's probably going to fall right around the 9th. So I'm going to write that down here, and that's once a month, and that's his paycheck, all his commission from his sales the previous month. I'm just going to write this here. He gets also 2 base pays. He gets them on the 15th and the 30th, but they always come in early because our bank has like an early direct deposit. So they come in a couple days early. And especially if it hits on a Sunday, it'll probably be here Thursday or Friday. So that's a good thing. So these are our paydays. So we have, zooming out, the 6th, the 9th, the 15th, the 20th, and the 30th. So these base pays are relatively smaller, a lot smaller than his commission usually is. My paydays stay the same. So there's really no fluctuation whatsoever. So let's write down the 6th. So it'll be 5, 6, then 5, 9, then 5, 15, then 5, what did I say, 20th, and then 5, 30th. Okay. Now, this monthly budget, these schematics that I've come up with, these really work well for me. And as you can see, if you have multiple sources of income or multiple paydays, you have lots of space to actually fill in your numbers exactly as they are. So when I was designing these, I designed these with that in mind. You know, we're a dual income household, so I wanted to make sure that we had enough space to write down everything that we needed to track. So let's see. Okay, this is the commission. These are so easy to use. So if you have a system that you're already using, you know, and you're just looking to switch things up, these might be really helpful for you. And let me know if you've already, oh, that's not right. Oh, I'm using a friction. I'm so happy. Let me know if you have already used any of the ones that I've provided as free downloads and how you're enjoying them, if you are using them. But they are pretty foolproof. So if you haven't, you know, started a budget and you're just thinking about it, but you're not sure where to begin, these are really great to follow along with. So basically, if you just open up this kit and you start from, you know, page 1 and you work your way through the month with these worksheets, it's really foolproof. And then you'll see at the end, okay, I have an entire month budgeted and I can follow this plan or this schematic moving forward for every single month. It's really user-friendly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So my pay number 2 and his base number 2. All right, so I'm going to fill out those when I get those amounts actually. And my bills, I'm going to budget more along the lines of $3,000 for the month. Those include fixed expenses. And the reason why I'm doing that is because our bills went up a little bit, and I still think that I need to pad in just a little bit more of a buffer, and I'm talking like maybe $50 to $75 a month. Our utilities have gone up so much. Our water, our gas has stayed the same, but our electric is supposed to be on budget, but it hasn't been. And I have to like literally call and all this stuff. It's such a pain. But I want to make sure that I have enough. So I'm going to start budgeting $3,000 a month for fixed expenses. That includes our mortgage. It includes our utilities, our cars, all that kind of stuff. Sinking funds, I'm not sure where I'm going to land with that. I have to plan just a little bit more with that. And then variables pretty much stay the same for us. So we do food and dog food together. And what I do is I stuff my cash envelopes every single week. So for the most part, I do cash for most of my things. So for food, like grocery shopping, I do cash. Gas, I do cash now, and I hate it because I have to go inside. I probably hate it more in the winter when it's cold and you don't want to like necessarily get out to pump and go into the gas station to pay and tell them how much. But in the summer, I don't think it's going to bother me quite as much. And I do like having the control of having that set amount. There is something to be said for sure for paying for things digitally or electronically, because I love using our Discover because we earn cash back. But at the same time, I also, I like the control that and the, what am I trying to say? The discipline the cash spending provides. So we do that for food. We do it for gas. And what are my other categories usually? Hold on. I want to make sure that I'm filling this out correctly. I have COVID. I think I told you guys that, but I know I told you guys that. But my brain just feels slower. Food, gas, miscellaneous. And then I have some birthday gifts to buy. I have quite a few actually this coming month, and I need to budget for that. So you guys will be a part of all that budgeting in separate videos. Otherwise, this one would be like 10 years long. So we have birthday gifts, food, gas. We paid off the pool. So we're, with the exception of our car payments and our mortgage, we are debt-free. So I'm pretty happy about that. Oh, and then variable, I'm going to put in here extra mortgage, because if you've been following me along, you guys know that I have a plan for that and I'm working that plan. And then also for escrow. I'm calling it escrow. Recently, we had our escrow for our taxes separated from our mortgage payments. And what do you know? The bank sends me my very first statement after all that paperwork is finalized, and it includes the escrow. So I had to call and they're like, no, you can just pay the new amount. And I'm like, yeah, but my statement says, you know, it's X amount of dollars with escrow. I'm like, so if I make a lower payment, you know, is that going to be reflected correctly? Like, that bothers me. Like, if you're a bank, send out the correct statement with the correct figures. And if there is a mistake, which happens on both ends, customer and institution. But if there is a mistake somewhere, then fix it and award a new statement. You know, like, that's for my records. And so I'm really particular about that. And I was very upset about it. I didn't get upset on the phone, but I was like, that's not right. You know, if you want me to pay a certain amount, don't send me an official statement saying to pay a different amount. So I have to make sure that the statement that I get for June actually reflects the correct amount. Otherwise, I'm just going to like probably lose my mind. Because that is so frustrating. So as of right now, our new mortgage payment should only include principal and interest. We separated our house insurance, homeowner's insurance from that from like, oh my gosh, almost get-go. And then recently I just decided to take the escrow off because why? Why are they holding my money? To do what? I could hold my money. You know what I mean? And you only have the ability to do that if you have so much equity in your house. So at the very beginning, you know, if you're a new homeowner and you want to do that, like I know that I asked that question a long time ago. We weren't able to because we didn't have enough equity and the bank doesn't want to take a risk. So if you default on your taxes, then of course, who are they going to come after? The homeowner. And who's the actual homeowner? The bank. So yeah, they don't want that kind of mess going on. But if you do get to a certain amount where you owe you know, a much higher percentage less than what's owed, usually the bank should work with you and separate your escrow if you want them to do that. So I'm putting it down as a variable because it's not necessarily a savings or a sinking fund, even though it is. It's something that's going to be fluid and it's going to be going in and out of our account. So that might change. I might switch the category. I don't think it really matters, because what matters at the end of the day is the amount that I put aside and make sure that I allocate it correctly. Here are the monthly bills, and I would write down basically, you know, from A to Z what we owe, whether it's 2 cars, we have 2 car payments, insurances, mortgage, all that kind of stuff. So I would do that, but I'll do that in a separate video. Again, I'm just trying to do like a brief overview, like a skeleton of what this month is going to look like. And then obviously as the month goes along, I can then reconcile down here with the receipt. How much did we bring in totally? How much were our bills totally, our variables, our sinking funds, and how much did we have left over? Or did we spend it all and give every dollar a purpose? Because that's usually the goal. I like having a zero-based budget, but I don't think having a zero-based budget is in any way of a failure. I think that means that you did a good job, and like I said, you gave every dollar that you had coming in a purpose. So we have our paydays written, we have our monthly budget filled out. This will be the first paycheck of May. I'll get into that on this sheet. Lots of sheets for that. And like I said, if you do pick up one of these kits, or if you have downloaded one of them previously for free, just know that you don't have to necessarily print out every single one of these, but just be mindful of the pages you do skip. If you skip any, you may not need all these paycheck sheets, but if you do skip any, just be mindful that you're skipping the right number so they still print out double-sided correctly. So we'll get into our sinking funds. I'm very much looking forward to that, because what I think I'm going to do with my sinking fund binder, because I was just looking at it, is I think I'm going to unstuff it, and I'm going to start to reallocate some money, and I'm going to start to use some of this money, and I'll tell you guys why and how. And then at the very end, we have the monthly goals, so I'm going to do that separately too. That's going to be its own video, and then this is just for notes, so just somewhere that I can track maybe things that are going on this month, or some notes that I want to keep in mind for June, or the, you know, next half of the year, whatever the case may be. So the monthly goals are going to include budgeting, health, home, and work. And even though these, you know, technically some of them aren't related to finance, technically they could be. You know, if you have work goals and you're trying to, you know, it has all to do with maybe earning money or a side hustle, you know, that can have to do with your budget. Your home, maybe maintenance, or things that you want to improve, or things that you have to repair. Health is probably the only most subjective one that might not have anything to do, but even that, maybe you have some bills to pay, or you have a gym membership, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I like having all this in one place, because I think at some point along the way, it all speaks to each other. So this is going to be my kit for May, and I'm going to put this one aside, or maybe one of my nieces will want to use this one. And let's see, I am going to put my happy planner down, and I'm going to lift this up just a bit, just to give me some more room. And I'm going to go into May, and I still have the rest of my happy planner kit in here. This is actually, you know, a 2022 planner that I bought, but I'm going to take out most of May because I'm using this just for budgeting, this particular budget notebook. So we've got that in here, and we're good to go. So I have lots of different versions of my budget workbooks, my budget kits. So if you're interested, like I said, please check out my Etsy. There are so many new things in there, and I'm going to be uploading more things literally daily. So, you know, just to have a look, even if you're not interested in purchasing anything, you know, maybe you'll get some inspiration of things that you want to start tracking. This is something I'm going to be talking about as well. This is my schedule like a boss. But I think for my purposes, I'm going to end up scaling this down to fit into a Happy Planner Classic. But I really, really like this, and it gives me more room than I was actually using in my Happy Planner for those videos. And for that, the actual task of scheduling myself at work every day, because these lines are wider. So it really gives me a nice amount of space, and it goes from 7 a.m. all the way down to 10 p.m. in half-hour increments. So I kind of drew this with my day in mind, and hopefully that works for some of you too. We have up here, you can circle the day of the week. If it's a work day, if it's a day off for you, you can put the date up here, and then you can track your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then any notes that you want to keep down here, you have a nice big rectangle there to write in. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and I am going to probably be turning off my free pop-up giveaway, but like I said, lots of stuff in the Etsy, so if you're interested, just go ahead and give it a visit. So thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you stuck around and did so, and as always, I hope I see you guys in my next video. Take care.